Hello, hi, good morning. It snowed, which I posted about, and I'm taking some stuff from inside, outside. We woke up later because we stayed up later to watch the snow. Maybe a half an inch, quarter of an inch. It's not much snow out here at all. Walter and Lillian love the snow, but I'm going outside because I need to take this to the greenhouse. And then I also want to check on the compost bins because we, as you know, reassembled the compost bins because we want water, and here we are. But I'm going to check on the soil in here. Still damp. So these are the lilies that we planted in crates and have them out here in the greenhouse. The ranunculus, doing good. Oddly enough, we have stock that has started to come up while being out here in the greenhouse, which I probably should have done in the first place. And then all these are dying off. But you know what? They weren't doing very well anyways, so it's fine. Experiments. I'm not a huge stock grower, that's what I need to say, so I wasn't really worried about it. It's just an experiment with growing different things, and I also wasn't really looking forward to the pests that were going to come with the stock, because in the small amounts of stock that I have grown in the past, there's usually some like brassica-esque things that are pests on it, and I don't know, it's not that. I need to replace the batteries in my little thermometer that I have in the greenhouse. I have a variety of different sensors and things in the greenhouse. I also apparently left my tripod out in the greenhouse from a couple of days ago, so I'm gonna bring that in. Hi, Walty. Whoa! Almost dropped my devices. You want breakfast. So this half of the lawn melted. This half, not so much. So, okay, let's go over. Oh, let's see how this stuff over here looks. Looking good. Sweet William, Campanula, Rebecca. Lots of garlic. Let's check if these are all right. Yep, water's coming out. Hey Lillian, do you want breakfast? Yes, okay, let's go. Only like 4 or so months until that garlic's ready. What is it? It's February now. March, April, May, June. Yeah, 4 months. We'll escape sooner than that, but the garlic's was mid-June, I think, last year, so I'm not doing any shoveling related to the snow because it wasn't really much of anything. And it actually didn't stick on any hard surfaces except for our deck, because obviously the cooler's underneath that. The deck's a lot colder, but like driveway, front steps, street, no issue. Time to feed the dogs. I don't have anything that I have to do today, but there's a lot of things that I could do, especially cleaning of stuff that's just kind of placed in random places. But let's look at seedlings. So last weekend, I'm realizing my spray bottle is leaking. I should have known this was going to happen. Too much pressure in it. Ugh. Let me clean this up. Microfiber towel. It's so annoying when it does that. Alright, so yesterday was Fertilizer Friday, and I don't use any of that fishy stuff that people talk about. And a lot of times I actually don't really need to fertilize just based off of the amount of time that I'm seeding things, but some things, because they start a lot earlier and they're in smaller soil blocks, I do use a liquid plant food. So I just use this Fox Farm Grow Big, and it works really well. I needed to bring back to life some of these violas that were in here because their blocks got a little too dry. These are the ones that were on the smaller soil blocks than those. So Lisianthus, some of them are like booming. Some of them still small, but coming along. Down here is the stuff that I seeded last weekend. Actually, I took off the beets because they were pretty much all germinated. Right, so as I was saying, these are beets from before, but these were beets that I seeded last weekend, and they pretty much all came up. So they got moved off the heat mat and are now under here, which I accidentally just took them off of the back. Oh my gosh. Balancing act with some of these things is a whole situation. These probably need to go out sooner versus later. Carrots, looking good. I was hoping that my new soil plucker was going to be here so that I could bump these up, but maybe not. Rebecca looking good. So these were the ones that I did last weekend. Peppers. We're gonna have lots and lots of peppers, and I will definitely be having a seedling sale if they all. And then we have asters. Some of them have started coming up. Specific varieties have not started coming up, so we'll see. It's older seed, so not a big deal. And I don't really grow that many asters outside. Or at least I didn't last year. So, not super concerned. Also notice, new onions are coming up. Those have been up for a while. Cool. Everything else is just looking good. Oh, and up there too. That's lettuce. I have lots of heads of lettuce. So it's butter crunch. So exciting. So one of the things on my to-do list today is actually, I've been showing these violas that have been growing all winter. So we'll definitely be overwintering violas next year, and they apparently self-seeded themselves. So cool. This little viola plant has flowers on it, and I want to snag some of them for drying, even if they have a little bit of damage on them. I'm gonna snag them. I've just been kind of leaving them out here. Oh, they're so pretty. There's one that's self-seeded over here, here, and here. And I usually have a bunch planted in. Oh, there's another one, I think, in there. So they'll be planted here again because they like shade. All my harvest baskets are in storage, so this is what we have. Here we go. I have my little microwave dried flower kit. These are the felt pads that you put on either side. Put the flowers on here, and then on here, and like that. But you moisten these so that they're not completely dry and you don't burn your flowers. This is just staining from sunflowers and some other things. It's not burns. I actually like this little mister spray bottle. It's also really good for plant spray misting. And if you do any work with paint, to re-moisten painted surfaces. Anyways, so you have this and all this. So you'll grab one of your viola stems. You can use this pansies. I mean, you can do this with basically most flowers. I do this with anemones to dry them. And trim it close to the stem and line it up, not overlapping on your thing. Real easy. This is my bin of dried flowers, sunflowers. I think it was a zinnia, anemones, and violas, and then some foliage. Sunflowers don't always work the best with this method, but I've sort of figured out a way to make it work. Sort of. Okay. This is hot, so be careful when you take it out of the microwave. And then you just undo it. Open up. Woo! Open it up. And see if everything's dry. I think this could go for another 45 seconds. But it's really easy, and then you just peel them off. And then you just layer it up. So hopefully, you want to make sure that these are flat enough so that they don't curl. And wet sides towards the fabric. It has a top. You see all the little vents. You fasten it on all sides. And then you're going to put it in the microwave. Everybody's microwave is different. I do like bursts of 45 seconds on mine and just check it in between. So I do at least 2 bursts of 45 seconds. Then I'll check it to see how it is. And depending on the water content of your flower, the size of your flower, all of that is going to determine how much time it needs. My camera's moving. Whoa. What do I do with these? Well, card making is a plan. I'm trying to increase my collection of these types of dried flowers. I have plenty of the ones to make wreaths and like dried flower pumpkins, that type of stuff. It is really windy outside. Holy moly. It also started to like snow like real quick, then stopped. It's like it was dandruffing. Anyways, you can do ornaments, which I also decided to prep some of those. I do things like this periodically. This is clay. I just use air dried clay. So I'm thinking about doing more craft related things with flowers. One of the people that came to a dried flower pumpkin workshop that we had in the fall had said I would just come to craft, and I was like, okay. So I think sort of saying is I might try to host like monthly craft workshops with things. I'm still thinking about doing a seed starting workshop too, as long as it's warm enough in March. And I think it will be seed starting and people can start tomatoes if you're interested in starting tomatoes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe some flowers. I might include some flowers in that too. We'll see if I can get enough of supplies. Something you might not know about me is I also make macrame plant hangers, and they're all unique and different. I never do the same style twice, or if I try to, it never works out. So these will be a part of our flower stand in the spring if you're interested in plant hangers. Also, if you're just interested in plant hangers, we can chat. So you can just message me and we can chat about like something that you're interested in that I might have in stock. But this is an example of one of the ones that I do. So this is like a flat one that would lay very nicely on the wall. You can put whatever type of plant that you want in there. This is just one that's not soil based. And you just readjust the bottom and your vessel to make sure it sits however. There's different styles. This one's more like the traditional that you're used to seeing. I use different hooks. And this is they're mostly made out of t-shirt yarn, which is offcuts, or upcycled or recycled cord, which I get from a specific place that reclaims that to make it into cord so that you can make all sorts of different types of things. So like what is it called? A thing to put your cup on. I can't think of what it's called at the moment, but this is an example of that type of cord. Fun. And now I'm working on creating a mess and finishing a heart wreath that I have been working on for quite some time. Mess, 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 heart wreath. I guess it shows up better this way. Here we go. I just have to do the shoulders, like even out the shoulders, cascading down, and then that will be it. I'm not going to do the full, I don't think. What do you think? Yeah, no, that's just too much. So part of the new rain barrel system, Steve added this component at the end of the piping. We have a number of different turn-off valves for things, but one of them is for a pipe that will go here, which just came, and I just installed it. It's not sealed in or anything, but I don't know that it 100% needs to be. But anyways, it's supposed to show how much water is in our barrels. So this is how high it went when I opened a valve underneath there. Pretty dang cool, because you can't see inside these barrels, and all three of them should be that level, I believe, but this is they were filled from one rainstorm, and I guess maybe some snow that came off the roof today too. Just got back from taking the dogs on a little excursion and realized I still had not trimmed some rosemary off of our rosemary plant because I wanted to see if I can propagate it. A lot of people just put it straight into soil. I guess you use rooting hormone, but I'm gonna try just using our propagation station, which I have by our window, and see if I can root here. I don't know. I've seen other people do it, so I figured why not try it. And I took 3, and now I need to feed these little chickens, but I put some salmon in for me, and before I took the dogs out I actually made some, I guess a version of a Snicker. It's a date with peanut butter, chunky peanut butter, and